everyone, Darkside Phil here, and welcome to a very loaded channel update. I've got a lot to talk about. I didn't plan on making this channel update, and then all of a sudden I woke up today, took a look on my Twitter, and realized that there's like 100 unanswered questions of things that have been going on, of stuff that is coming up. And I said, you know what, let me take this opportunity to make a channel update. Yes, I know that I just did a Hateful Truth and I just did a Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway video, but I'd rather have this be the main video on my page for at least the day of today. I'm going to leave it as the featured video so that people get in the know and they understand what's going on, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Most notably, first and foremost, my DSPGaming channel right here has just hit 200 million views. Actually, not really. It actually hit it several days ago, but YouTube hadn't updated their view totals in a couple days. It was lagging. But 200 million views. I mean, I look at this and I say, wow, like, did I ever, when I started on YouTube, fathom that I would hit 200 million total views? That's pretty crazy for someone who has no promotion whatsoever, hasn't really corroborated or collaborated with anyone who was like a big celebrity or anything like that. Basically earned these views completely on my own. Of course, I'm not saying that I do it all on my own. I have many thanks to people like John Rambo, like Panda Lee, people who have joined me for co-op over the years that have helped me out, but it's just a big accomplishment. And, you know, I look at other people's channels who basically have 3 times more subscribers than I do. You know, I only have 118,000 subscribers. I don't hark to people to constantly subscribe. I'm not like that. I don't use that stupid mentality of, oh, you have to rate and subscribe, and you have to do this. I never even say subscribe. I read very few, if any, videos ever where I said subscribe, okay? But people who have 3 times more subscribers than me, who have been doing this thing on YouTube longer than me, keep in mind this channel has only existed for 2.5 years, and they don't have 200 million views. So what I have to say is thank you to everyone who sticks in there, who watches my playthroughs, who spreads the word about me. Keep in mind, really, the only way to keep this thing going and to keep it spreading is word of mouth, because outside of this, I really don't do any promotion or anything like that. You won't see me trying to abuse YouTube's system so I can get my video on the front page and then try to get new subscribers. Not to say that I haven't had videos on the front page, but I'm not intentionally trying to do this through system manipulation and through promotion. You know, right now I'm doing the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway, and I could be saying, well, in order to enter the contest, you have to comment on this video and thumbs up and be sure to subscribe, and somehow I'll get those videos on the front page. I don't even care about that, okay? All I care about is putting out consistently good content for my viewers, that they will stay there and they will consistently watch, and that's what keeps me going. And hey, it's that dedication and that not caring about blowing up and making it big that I really feel has made me as successful as I am, and it's the reason why I have such a dedicated fan base. So thank you to everyone. 200 million views. You know, I was even thinking about it the other day. I was like, wait a minute. I just realized that it was just about this time 2 years ago. It was actually the last day of September of 2010 that I was laid off from my full-time job. And I really started taking this YouTube thing seriously as like a full-time occupation. And I was like, damn, I'm so busy these days with games and with content that I didn't even realize that it was the 2-year anniversary of me taking YouTube seriously. I didn't even have time to put a video together to talk about it like I did last year. And that's a shame, but at the same time, I guess that's a good sign that you're so busy that, you know, you don't have time to do special videos and stuff like that. Right now, there's so many games coming out in the next several months, including a new console launch with the Wii U, that I'm going to be so slammed that you're going to see massive amounts of content coming out here on DSP Gaming. And I fully expect that not everyone is going to be able to watch everything, okay? I completely expect that, especially because I know a lot of people have gone back to school. Some people are just starting up college or university or whatever you call it. And I know that during this time of the year it's harder to watch playthroughs, even though it's kind of a shame because the dual aspect there is that this is when most of the newer games are coming out because they're trying to get them out before the holidays so people will buy them for Christmas. And so I'm aware that playthroughs such as Resident Evil 6, which started on Tuesday, had a slow start, and now all of a sudden I look at the views and they're picking up. So I completely understand that there's so much content as well. Like, just did a full co-op playthrough of Borderlands 2 a couple weeks ago that was more than 20 hours long, and now I just did a 20-hour long playthrough of Resident Evil 6. It's like, there's so much content out there right now that people are competing and trying to watch that it's a dog-eat-dog world. I see literally when I upload my Resident Evil 6 and then when I look at like the related videos, there's like 100 related videos, and everyone is a completely different person doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 6, which is pretty nuts. That everyone's playing these games now. I remember back when I started in 2009, it was like maybe you could find 2 or 3 playthroughs of things on YouTube, and that was it. And now it's like 7,000 people. And, you know, it's kind of a product and a byproduct of me, honestly. Me and other people like me who are doing this and who are making money doing it and who are making a living doing it. And other people say, oh, I could jump on that bandwagon. It's kind of the same as what happened with Street Fighter. When Street Fighter 4 was released, the game became super popular. All of a sudden people were like, oh, I'm just going to jump on that bandwagon and try to become a tournament player so I can make money doing this. And I completely understand that, but I can pride myself saying that I have 200 million views on just one of my channels. Or combined between all of my channels, I don't even know how many views I have. It must be a massive amount. But I'm extremely grateful. It's a huge accomplishment that since I've been on the internet since, what was it, 2008, but just in the past 2.5 years amassing that many views. Thank you to everyone. Let's move on to the next topic because I don't want to get hung up on it. Lots of stuff to talk about in this channel update. I had to make a list because I had so many things to hit upon in this channel update. First of all, I just want to let everyone know, John Rambo, obviously it's Saturday, he's not here, okay? He took the time out and dedicated himself earlier this week to come here in person, both Tuesday and Wednesday, to complete a full co-op playthrough of the 3 co-op campaigns in Resident Evil 6. He really wanted to be here for that, because he really enjoyed the game a lot. And he said, sorry Phil, but after driving from New York 2 days, there's no way that a 3rd day I could make it. So no Smart Guys this week. He actually decided that he was going to be busy today, so there was no way we were going to be able to do a Smart Guys. No co-op this week. But next week, I want to remind everyone, because this is a big thing, this is the last week where we're going to be doing wrestling simulation matches in WWE 12. Next week is the Bound for Glory pay-per-view for TNA. It's their biggest pay-per-view of the year. So it makes sense that if we're going to simulate a TNA pay-per-view, it should be that one, okay? We're going to be simulating it in WWE 12, and this is going to basically retire the game for us. After a year of content that we got out of it, it's time to retire the game, okay? So next week, look for those simulation matches on Saturday here on DSPGaming. Now you might be saying to yourself, well Phil, that doesn't make sense because isn't the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming at the end of October, and doesn't technically WWE 13 doesn't WWE 13 or I'm sorry, doesn't WWE 13 come out after that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? It's really the last weekend of October when the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is happening. People are like, why are you saying that this is the final pay-per-view for WWE 12? Well, because that's going to be the weekend that Panda Lee will be visiting me. As you know, she comes about once a month and we spend time together. So that's the weekend I'm going to be busy. So there will be no wrestling sims that weekend of Hell in a Cell. Our simulations of that are going to be 1 week later, but that's going to be great because it's going to be the first simulation we're doing in WWE 13. We're going to see if there's been any improvements. There's going to be a new roster, and we're going to basically be able to test out the game for the first time during those simulations, and I think that's going to be great. So that's a big event. For those of you who've been following along with the wrestling simulation matches over the past year, that's going to be a huge event. We're trying out the new game, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Definitely be there for that, okay? Okay, a lot of people have been asking me at this point, am I going to New York Comic Con this year? As you know, the past 2 years, I have been at New York Comic Con. I did do a lot of footage, and people are asking me, what's the deal this year? Well, here's what happened. Funny story. OJ, last year, got a vendor table in the Anime Artists Alley section, okay? And he sold his candles, and he actually shared this booth with some other people who were doing stuff with anime. This year, he submitted to get a table, but this year Comic-Con has changed their focus a little bit. They've actually taken the Anime Artists Alley and the Comic Book Artists Alley, and they've merged them. And this has actually made it much harder to get into Comic-Con this year, okay? For whatever reason they decided to do this. They even raised the prices, and you know what? That's probably why they did it. They raised the prices per table. There's no longer an Anime Artist Alley with the cheaper price. Everything is more expensive this year. So it's their tactic to make more money, okay? So OJ submitted months ago, submitted to get his own table, and was told no, he was denied. Even though he was approved last year, he was denied this year for completely nonsensical reasons. It was like, the reply he got was, well, it sounds like you're going to be there to sell stuff. That's not what the Artist Alley is. It's for artists to be there to sell stuff. That's literally like what the email he got said. And he was like scratching his head like, what the fuck are they talking about? This doesn't even make logical sense. So for a while it looked like we weren't going to Comic-Con, and I didn't buy a ticket or anything like that. Then it just came to light a couple weeks ago. OJ had befriended the White Mage, and I apologize because I'm not friends with her like John and OJ are, but the girl who basically sells those hats and things at gaming conventions is going to be at New York Comic Con. She was approved for a table, and she's kind of befriended OJ over the past couple months, and she's offered to share her table with him at New York Comic Con. So OJ's definitely going, and this just came to light about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, well, let's see, you know, what's going on. Maybe I'll get a ticket, and that way that's cool, because if we didn't have a table, it might not be worth it to go, because I know people want to meet and greet with myself, with John, with OJ, and, you know, we want to have an opportunity to maybe meet the fans, sign stuff, like we did last year. It was great to be able to do that and have like a ground zero where people can meet us. To just have to walk around, there's 2 reasons why that sucks. Number 1, because you would have no idea where to be to meet us if you want to meet up with us. But number 2, because of my back. And I went to New York Comic Con in 2010, and that was before I tried to get a table or anything like that. And my back was killing me. There is literally nowhere to sit at that convention. It's jam-packed with people at all times. It's crowded like you're in a sardine can. Seriously, it's bad, okay? And so having the table to sit at last year was a massive godsend. I mean, it was just such an asset. And this year, if we didn't have it, I really wasn't going to go. But then all of a sudden, last minute, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was told we were that there would be a table that we could hang out at if we wanted to. But here's the thing. This week in particular, there's so many releases coming out. Okay? Dishonored, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Sniper Ghost Warrior, yeah, Fable the Journey, but that's not a big one. But we've got 3 games, 2 of which I think really that Dishonored and XCOM, a lot of people want to see. I've been getting messages, I've been seeing threads on my forums opening up for both of these games, and people really want to see both of these games, okay? So for me, it's like, well, I can dedicate myself this week to trying to beat these 2 games that I know are going to be lengthy, that I know that are probably going to be pretty good, or I can take a whole day out of this week coming up to go to New York Comic Con. And keeping in mind that next week we're going to be doing the Bound for Glory Sims, and John's going to be here probably on Saturday, I already got a day taken out of the week where I'm not going to be doing footage of those games. Do I want to take 2 days out of the week where I'm not going to be doing footage of those games? To which I finally said, you know what, this is just, it's out of control. New York Comic Con is a nice thing, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed attending New York Comic Con the past 2 years. But the thing is, I went to E3 this year. And E3 is really the hub, the main source of gaming information. I had hands-on with the Wii U. I played all the newest releases. I made over 80 videos of E3 coverage. Going to New York Comic Con, more than likely I'm going to see more than half of it's going to be the same thing. So I really decided this year, after really thinking about it, you know, hard, I said, I'm not going to go to New York Comic Con this year. I've decided that it's more important for me to be here playing the newest releases, doing what I do best, rather than taking 2 days out of this week to do other stuff. I'd rather just focus on the releases this week. Okay, so no New York Comic Con in 2012. I apologize to anyone who was maybe looking forward to meeting me there, but there's just too much going on right now for me to take another day out of the week. Okay, yesterday I put out my Resident Evil 6 review. Controversial. I knew that no matter what I said about the game, there were going to be people who disagreed with me, okay? And I knew that no matter what I said about the game, there was going to be a flame war in the comments, there were going to be fanboys of different sides arguing with each other, and there was going to be all this stuff going on. Even if I said the game was great or I said the game sucked, I knew no matter what I did, this was going to happen. This is one of those games that it's a hotbed of activity, okay? There's people that really like the game, there's people that really hate the game for different reasons. I gave the review what I gave it. I actually scored it twice. This is what's funny to me. I see people on the review, oh, you scored it wrong because you didn't factor in this and this and this for the single player. I'm like, well, what are you, an idiot? You didn't watch the whole video, because I actually scored the game as a co-op game, and then I scored the game as a single player game. So if you actually watched the whole video, you would have known that I did give it 2 different scores, because I do feel that those experiences would be different. So it's funny to see comments from people who just have no attention span and either didn't watch the video and wanted to comment and flame me, or stopped the video as soon as they heard the first score and didn't listen to the full video. But it's up. I highly recommend, if you're on the fence about Resident Evil 6, if you're trying to consider whether or not to play it, this review is going to be an honest review, no bullshit, maximum truth, and you're going to understand the ins and outs of the game, how it's good, what fails with the game, and whether or not you should play it. There are people who I think would love this game and people who probably want to skip the game. You'll find out if you watch the review, so go check it out. I do also want to mention the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway is still going, but we've had problems for the past 2 weeks now where people are entering the contest, but then when they win, yes, that's right, I draw them live every Friday, and in the video live I pick the winners. I announce it in the video, plus I send them private messages on my website. They're not responding. For 2 weeks in a row, we've had winners who didn't respond, and it just blows my mind that you would enter a contest, but you wouldn't watch the video the next week to see if you won, and then you wouldn't even check the website once during the week to see if you won and give me your information so I can send you the game. It's just, it makes absolutely no sense. It's like a complete waste of your own time. Why would you do that? So, please, watch the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway video for this week. I announce 2 completely new winners for weeks 1 and 2. I draw the winner for week 3, and I announce the new game for week 4. So, you can decide whether or not you want to enter for week 4, and please, if you're going to enter, please follow up with the website, and please watch the video the next week so you know if you won or not. It's kind of silly. These people, it was such a small chance that you could win. I mean, we're talking 500 to 800 entries per game so far, and these people win and they don't follow up. It's just like, wow, what a waste. You know what I mean? Okay, so now let's talk about some hot questions that people have been asking me over the past several days, a lot on Twitter, okay? Ask the King. As you know, in September, I didn't do an episode of Ask the King. I was far too busy to do one. And people are asking me, when am I going to reschedule it for? Well, the bottom line is, October is just as busy, if not more busy, than September was. I've got a crazy amount of stuff going on right now. So, what I'm going to say is this. There's a possibility that I may be able to do Ask the King on October 25th, because that's the day when Pandalee is actually traveling to visit me this month, and it looks like the only new game that week is Medal of Honor Warfighter, and I'm almost guaranteeing that I can beat the campaign of that game between Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe even get a chance to do some of the multiplayer. So maybe what I can do is take time out on Thursday to do Ask the King while Pandalee's traveling here to see me. We'll see what happens, but I'm really hoping that I can fit it in. If not, unfortunately, again, we're going to have another month where I just don't have time to do it. It really takes a lot of time to do Ask the King, between screening all the questions, thinking of my answers for the questions, filming the episodes, and then encoding the episodes. It takes like 4 to 5 hours of my day to do it. So unless I can find time to do it, I don't know. But the 25th is the most likely day this month when I'll be able to do it, okay? Okay, so now let's get to gaming this week. Today, tomorrow, what's coming up? Today, I've decided I'm going to do the One Piece Pirate Warriors single player again. I have not done it in quite some time. It's been over a week. Haven't had a chance to play it, and I know that people were really liking the playthrough. There were people who were following along and want to see the conclusion of the game. I'm going to be doing that today. I don't know if I'm not promising that I'm going to beat the game today, but I'm going to be playing more of that today and hopefully beating it, but we'll see what happens. Later tonight, I'm going to release only a handful of videos. It's not a lot, but a handful of videos of the Hawken Alpha, okay? I know I haven't talked about Hawken in quite a long time. There hasn't been a lot of information about it. We're very quickly approaching the time when you'll be able to play the beta, okay? And what I'm going to do is in these 5 videos that are footage of the actual alpha of the game, you'll be able to register for the beta. I'm going to put a link in the description so you know where to go to register for the beta of this game, okay? It's a completely free-to-play PC game. I've got some videos of it back in my E3 footage if you want to go check that out. If not, wait for tonight and there'll be new footage of the game in a competitive nature. It's really the first time I've been able to play the game online against humans, and it's pretty fun. It's an interesting game. I'll definitely be playing this game when it actually has its official release. So I'll be having those videos go up later tonight. A lot of people are asking me, though, because I've been talking about it for a couple days, Phil, how on earth can you upload that? Because wasn't there a non-disclosure agreement in the alpha saying that you're not supposed to upload footage of Hawken, and isn't that why no one's been uploading footage? Well, there's actually a special agreement between Machinima and the creators of Hawken that Machinima partners who have been part of this alpha can actually upload footage. So I will be uploading, I think it's about 5 videos later tonight of Hawken. Check them out, see if you like it, and if you do, you'll be able to register for the beta. In the description of the video, I'll have the link there for you, okay? And then last but not least, tomorrow what will I be doing? Well, yes, I am fully aware that the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta is online. It went live on Xbox Live yesterday. I'm busy with other stuff. You know, I'm not going to drop everything because all of a sudden the beta was released unexpectedly. But I am interested in the game. It's definitely something to play before the new release is on Tuesday. So probably tomorrow, if not Monday, I'll be trying out the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta. I'll be announcing that. There is also the possibility in the next 2 days that I will be trying out Marvel Superheroes over on DSP Street Fighter. I know a lot of people have been saying, Phil, you played 2 sets of Marvel vs. Capcom 1. When are you going to be playing Marvel Superheroes? Will you be playing Marvel Superheroes? The answer is yes. I actually played some of the arcade mode last night to get myself reacquainted with the game, and it's funny because I can remember in my head top tier stuff that I used to do, but I can't remember how to do it in the game, which is pretty funny. I've forgotten a lot of the stuff about the game. The game's that old. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm still pretty good at it, and so I will actually be playing it soon online. You'll see some footage of that over on DSP Street Fighter either Sunday or Monday. We'll see when I have a chance to do it. But that's also a good thing to be able to do before we move into a new week of gaming with brand new releases, okay? Alright, that's it for the channel update. I know it's been a damn long one. Lots of ground to cover. Thank you so much for 200 million views. Let's just keep going. Let's aim for more. I appreciate every view that I get. I really do. And thank you so much for being dedicated viewers and fans. I'm trying to give back as much as I can by playing as many games as possible, but also the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. So please tune into that. I feel bad that I haven't been able to reward the people who won the first 2 weeks because they weren't paying attention. Please pay attention to that giveaway. And that's pretty much it. I guess I'll see you for new gameplay. Peace out. And see you then. Here's to another 200 million views here on DSP Gaming. Peace.